Welcome to Rhinos and Aliens. Welcome, Rhinos and Aliens, to yet another episode of Rhinos and Aliens After Dark, but during the day. This is
I
episode...
guess it technically is after dark.
Yo, I'll never forget how somebody commented on the very first time you mentioned that in an After Dark episode, and they said... You never saw the comment?
I don't. Maybe I did, but I don't remember that.
How I think it was a female saying she had emojis cracking up and saying, "It's so funny. It's literally after dark." Because you mentioned that a while ago.
Oh, that I said that it was literally after dark.
Yeah.
I get. Yeah. I mean, because if you do it at nighttime, it's during dark.
Yes. Yeah.
If you ever do the night ones episodes, you should. You need another subheader.
Well, you know why I like
Rhinos and Aliens during dark.
Well, I like After Dark because technically
It sounds cooler.
It sounds cooler. It has a naughty innuendo.
Right.
And then technically speaking, bro, they don't know where we're recording.
In Buffalo, I'm just kidding.
So anywhere at any point in time, it is after dark.
That's true.
Facts.
Even if you're watching it during dark, it's still after dark. It's after it got dark out. And if you're watching it during the day, it's after it's been dark out.
Okay, guys, so for the 49th episode, we have some very overdue corrections.
I am Sebastian.
I am Nature Boy Francis.
I am...
Ass Boy.
Oh, damn. I like how you came up with that all by yourself.
On the spot.
Facts.
Amen, baby.
No printer.
Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to get off because the goal is to release it tonight as Game 1 of the NBA Finals is going. How was your 4th of July, brother?
It was magical.
What did you do?
I cooked and prepared food all day, actually.
Wow, you were a man doing... In some cultures?
I cleaned the grill outside. I cleaned the pool area.
Oh, that's sexy.
I was a sexy pool boy.
Oh, I'll bet you were. I know somebody was getting turned on watching you. Was she watching you?
I hope multiple people were turned on watching
I'm not talking about... What's your special one?
Not during the cleaning part. She was,
really?
You know, she was helping prepare food also.
Does she not get turned on by that type of stuff, or she just wasn't paying attention?
She wasn't paying attention.
But if she was, would she?
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
I don't think she'd tell me, but I hope so.
Oh, she's the type... She really wouldn't. She'll probably tell you a year later.
Yeah, right? She wouldn't even tell me at all. Bro, it took her so long to tell me that she thinks I'm like handsome. I'm like, you're married to me, right?
But you know this is who you married.
Right. That's why it didn't bother me, but...
Yeah. And bro, by the way, besides your nose, you are handsome.
God damn it, you don't point that out, motherfucker. And my 4th of July was phenomenal after that. We ate some good food. We had a bonfire. We
what
had
type of
fireworks.
Food?
We had empanadas.
Okay.
Colombian. We had rice and chicken.
What type of beans?
Not chicken. What type of beans? I said rice, motherfucker. You assume beans? I think there was some beans in the rice. I don't know.
I was about to say, if you didn't have beans, that wouldn't be
I think
Hispanic.
it was like sprinkled on. It wasn't like a full like...
Oh yeah, but there's still
side.
beans. Because even if you make beans with the rice, that's still called arrows with whatever, you know?
Yeah. So it was like if you had like a whole plate of rice, there might have been like 3 or 4 little beans in there, which is kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay,
but,
okay, just move on.
Yeah, and then there was like burgers and hot dogs and like carne asada.
Oh, those are good. Homemade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we had a bonfire, and then there was the fireworks going off in the distance. I'll show you a video after.
Dope.
Because the where the vantage point that I had in the bonfire, the fireworks were right behind it.
That's a beautiful sight.
It was so beautiful.
I saw the fireworks, and I actually wanted to come over. Well, I saw the bonfire. I wanted to come over, but I know how your family feels about me, so I didn't want to make it awkward.
It's a shame, bro.
But that's a great segue because
how was yours?
Right after I saw that you were there and enjoying your time, I'm like, I'm going to leave him alone. I don't want to make shit awkward. I rode my bike from my house, obviously, all the way downtown through off of Sycamore. And then I cut through...
In Michigan. We live in Michigan.
I cut through Delaware all the way basically to Delaware Park. And then I went down to the street, Niagara Street, which is closest to the waterfront. And then I rode that all the way down to downtown again. So basically I went from the east side, downtown, somewhat North Buffalo, west side area, and then full-blown west side area.
How long did that take you?
Not like over, I would say like an hour in terms of everything. I was really sightseeing. The best way to describe it, bro, just imagine And yo, you remember that night?
Did you go with someone or just by yourself?
By myself, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a love-hate thing in terms of you want to experience moments like this with somebody else.
But you gotta learn how to experience good shit by yourself too.
No, but when you're by yourself, you could do what you want when you want.
Exactly, because it's nothing worse than not being able, like, not knowing how to enjoy things. If you didn't have the option to be with somebody for that moment,
You need
to
to
know how to enjoy it by yourself,
Make the most out of it.
Yeah, whether it's because you have to or because you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's a life skill.
Yo, bro, I will always say this. The best thing that's happened to me is experiencing the 4th of July on a bike for the past 3 years, bro. It is a blessing. The reason why I'm saying this, I wanted to describe to you. Just imagine you riding your bike. You remember that night where it's around 70 degrees, not that humid, a nice little breeze.
Yeah.
Just imagine that.
Fireworks going off everywhere.
Now, close your eyes right now. Imagine fireworks going off to your left, to your right, in front of you, behind you, and at certain points, you are literally timing riding through as the fireworks are going off above you. With
That's
the
amazing.
breeze, with the perfect temperature, because that really was perfect bike riding temperature.
That whole day was perfect. We wanted to get in the pool, but I was like preparing food the whole day. So by the time we actually finished, it
was
wasn't
too
warm.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was like, other than for pool weather, that was like perfect for everything else.
Oh, 100%. And this was the best part too. This is what I want to emphasize this. I realized 4th of July is my favorite, and it might be the best American holiday. You know why?
Why?
Because it has a little bit of every other holiday in it. It brings you together, community, family,
Food.
bonding, food, while at the same time it makes you realize how good you have it to be American. Freedom, independence,
And
honor.
it's nice out.
And it's during the summertime.
Because I was thinking, like, I love Christmas, but it's shitty out.
And think about this, though. People are saying, well, what about Thanksgiving? You're around family and you're giving thanks.
And your food.
But
It's shitty out.
July, 4th of July, you're with your family. You're eating food. And you're thankful that you have as much freedom as you do.
Also, not to dive too deep into it, but the whole origin of Thanksgiving, I don't fuck with.
Well, and as I mentioned to Danielle, is that Christmas, even though it's very commercial now, it's still rooted in religion. 4th of July, every race, every religion, every sex, theoretically, if they believe in the principles of what the pure principles of America represent, who can't get behind this? And another thing, too, every country has some type of Independence Day that was formerly colonized or owned by another country.
Yeah.
So many countries can relate. This is universal, bro.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to shout out to the east side and the hoods of Buffalo, because they had the most fireworks.
The Buffalo, Michigan.
Yo, they did not give a fuck. And
That's just not, it's not legal, right?
no, it's not. Yo, but this is the thing. The cops know what it is. The cops
You're
know.
not stopping everybody.
Unless you're being a dickhead and you're holding up traffic, that's the only time they're going to say something, and they're still not going to arrest you unless you become defiant. Oh, dude.
Love it.
Yo, dude, as you know, I've been saying this for going on a decade. Yo, I'm all about the Hispanic culture. Find me a Latin woman all day, every day. Dude, the language, the culture.
All day,
the
every
principles.
day, every day. Yeah.
Every day.
Twice a week, twice a day.
So now we're going to get
Back to the episode about basketball.
Well, first, we have a long update / correction about the wildfires from last year.
Oh, fuck. That's right. Give it to me.
Okay, so just to show you how far ago this was, as of January 3rd, animal loss was estimated at 480 million. But during the middle of January, the wildfires had raised that to at least 1 billion.
So wait, does this include mosquitoes and shit?
From what the information I collect, it was only mammals.
Okay.
So like they obviously weren't counting ants and those things where they have overpopulated populations compared to mammals.
Yeah.
These bushfires set flame to over 21 million acres over the 5 months that I was keeping up to date. Record-breaking heat and drought Lightning strikes and a few arsons is the cause for this record-setting situation. So this was not a rare situation of a one thing. This was a multitude of coincidences that transpired at the same time.
That's fucked. Like the odds of like
Entire ecosystems and the animals that lived in them have already been decimated. And the fire season at this point still wasn't technically over. The resulting destruction destroyed key habitats, caused starvation, exposed predators as well as the prey. And many people believe that there was a loss of diversity expected to lead to even more animal deaths in terms of direct and indirect ripple effects. Some people assumed, now it's not really known because of what happened during the pandemic, animals like the bandicoot and another animal that I can't pronounce, the podoros, may become extinct because of this wildfire.
no more Crash Bandicoot. Fuck.
At this point, there were still 3 more months left of the fire season. Of course, I wasn't able to do enough research because at that point, everything switched over to the pandemic, which when you think about it, everything was very coincidental in how everything transpired in 2020. Meaning that the total number was predicted to reach 3 billion deaths. Now, I was not able to confirm or deny the future update. Even if these affected ecosystems are able to recover, it will take at least 1 decade, many predict several decades, to get back to the normal case. What's so devastating about most of these species? Most of them are likely to go extinct that are only native to this sole continent. The current estimates of 1 billion, eventually 3 billion, are considered the optimistic. So these were all the best case scenario. So the lowest levels of death. Plus, as I mentioned before, this does not include small insects, spiders, frogs, or bats.
Wow, I would have thought for sure frogs and bats.
No. So this was literally only mammals and direct, non-concentrated insects. Areas affected range basically the entire continent from the Blue Mountains of the water shrink all the way to Kangaroo Island to Victoria's wetlands all the way to Gowanda rainforest. So another way to put it, it affected basically all ecosystems of this continent that captured half of the continent. And you know how large Australia is.
Yeah.
And quote unquote, one person put it as, this is the equivalence of an ecological atomic bomb. All of my information was gathered over multiple articles from 1.0. Just if you want to look it up. They might have updated, but what I was able to find, I could not. So long story short, bare minimum 1 billion, bare minimum likely 3 billion, all types of the biomes of Australia.
That's fucked.
I thought that was such important information that I had to tell you because I remember you were so fascinated about that a year ago.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
Just to put
sad, but it's fucking crazy.
And think about this, bro. In 2020, Australians had to deal with that if you lived near these wildfires. And then
COVID hit.
Talk and Americans want to complain. Just imagine being one of those Australians living near those wildfires. Destroyed.
Imagine being the insect that didn't count.
Imagine being a frog in a bat for some reason.
And then just like, you don't count. You're not that important.
All lives don't matter.
Not animal lives, apparently.
Okay, so
specific animals.
Let's get into some NBA.
Yeah, it's a perfect segue. It's a perfect intro.
Yeah, so we have a good 10 minutes. This is going to be a quick episode.
Yes.
Like we always claimed they would be, but they never were. Which, by the way, I just want to point out.
So if you skipped through that beginning because the title was basketball, welcome.
As it should be known, the Suns beat the Clippers in 6
without Kawhi Leonard.
While the Bucks beat the Hawks without Greek Freak, and the Hawks
they had Greek Freak for part of it,
but not the last 2.5 games.
Right. And
the Hawks didn't have Trae Young for 2 games, but he played in the final game.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that they
were down 20 in the fourth quarter and brought it down to 6.
Yeah, but They still ended up losing by double digits. Is that
They
not?
lost by 10, I believe.
Yeah, okay. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. It just got back to double. But either way, that's an impressive win in my...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's impressive, like, how much heart the Hawks had to be down 20 and still fight back to 6.
But I think it's impressive that the Hawks got their best player, even though he might not have been full percent. The Bucks without their best player. But this is what I want to get into. Are the Bucks better without Greek Freak, at least offensively, efficiently wise?
I think the team is more cohesive. They're more, what we were talking about the one day, they're more of a team.
Did they remind you of the Hawks of Budweiser when they had no stars and somehow they won 60 games, but they were a team?
They had good role players. Yeah. Yeah.
You remember that team, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, oh yeah. They won 60 games back-to-back years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And got swept both of them
Yeah.
by the Cavs. I remember what's his face. I don't remember who it was. I think it was I don't remember what his fucking name is. Specifically saying this year's gonna be different, and then they got swept because they were up in game or
But
right
they
before
didn't
game one.
They didn't have any stars. They
I know.
literally their best player was Alfred. You remember that horror?
Oh my god, yo, he's going back to Boston.
Oh God, that is yo. How do you want to talk about? What do you want? Do you want to talk about the coaches real quick? How like Dallas and Carlisle
All these
parted ways?
coaches, all these coach changes.
Yeah,
Yo,
can we
he's gonna be fine in Indiana.
Can we save this for a different episode? Because I have a whole list of this, and it's
Okay.
just crazy how many people left and how many people picked up and where.
Yeah, where they ended up.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's stick to the finals then.
Oh, okay. So how did you feel about the two conference finals, and then how do you think that's going to influence the finals?
Okay, the conference finals, man, I'm mad that the Bucks aren't completely healthy because it was already gonna be, I think,
I thought this was going to be a 7-game series with a healthy Bucks.
right. I mean, it might still be, but what I was trying to get at is in terms of ratings, it might not have been one of the higher rated ones, just in terms of the teams that made it.
Yeah.
But the fact that you now lost Giannis, which is if you're rooting for the Bucks or the Eastern Conference in general, now you have really no reason to want like for people like me who don't really have a stake in either one.
You wanted the Bucks to win because of Giannis, but if he's
Right.
not
Well,
playing,
primarily Giannis.
Yes.
Right? Because I like Middleton too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
But in terms of like the star power, you want the finals to be the best versions of the teams that represent the conference.
because Suns are basically healthy, and it almost the way they've played, it seems unfair.
Because they've been so good and they've been healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you get to play a really good Bucks team without their best player. And if it doesn't go the distance or if the Suns win, I'm not going to go as far as saying an asterisk. I don't believe in asterisk. I think every team needs a combination of skill and luck to win a title. And it just happens.
skill, health, and luck.
Yeah, and everything. Well, yeah, I put skill and health and luck into.
But
the
I
same
don't
bucket.
because Kawhi Leonard's lucky bounce that had nothing to do with skill or health.
Okay, fair. But it's just going to be so shitty if it ends up being a really one-sided series.
Yes.
And we get robbed. Already, I feel like NBA fans in general might already feel like we got robbed of like the matchups that people really wanted to see, right? Which is going to be what, like Lakers, Clippers, one of them representing the West, or like Brooklyn,
Yeah.
Philly, or the Bucks. I guess we got the
Yeah.
Bucks, but representing the East. And instead, we got the Suns that a lot of people didn't even think were going to make the playoffs to begin with, or maybe they're going to be like a bottom feeder in the playoffs, to now a finals team, and not only a finals team, the favorites. Which I want to segue into this. I think it was ESPN or one of the major sports networks. They're quote unquote 8 experts.
What were they?
7 have the Suns in like 6 games.
Do you disagree if they don't have Greek Freak? I think it might be less.
I think, fuck, I don't know. I do favor the Suns. I want the Bucks to win.
Okay, well, can I give you some stats for both teams to might influence your prediction?
No, I think without Giannis, I think it will be Suns in 6.
But let me give you some stats, right?
Okay.
Okay, so the Suns became the first team ever to beat 2 different teams in the same stadium to eliminate that team. So they're the first team to go on the road.
True, because the Lakers and the okay, huh?
Yeah, so I thought that was a nice fact. It's more so luck based for you to be in a situation like that, but it's still nonetheless
Neat.
Okay, so also in that situation, Chris Paul in Game 6 scored 41 points, which tied his career playoff high, and it's also the second most in a playoff game by a player 36 years or older in NBA history. The only other player was Karl Malone when he scored 50.
He deserves a fucking ring, man.
To go off of what the Suns, how much they overachieved, the Suns had just a 300 winning percentage in the previous 5 seasons combined before entering this year. Now they're headed to the NBA Finals. That is the worst winning percentage in the 5 prior seasons in any major league American sports. So just not the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, and the soccer league. Think about that. Now, going back to Chris Paul, of those 41, 31 of them came in the second half to emphasize his clutchness. 31 points.
He was hitting everything.
And that is the most in a half of his career, both playoffs and regular season. He is the third player to ever do this in the second half.
I keep saying it, but he deserves a ring. And this is my fucking dilemma with the Bucks and Suns. Like I as I've told you, there are reasons that I have for wanting both of them to win, right? Both teams.
Yeah.
And more specifically, there are players that I want to win, right? Like I want Chris Paul to win, and I think his window is a lot smaller to win than the Bucks. I think the Bucks deserve it more in the sense of they've been so close for so long and been so dominant in the regular season, and they always just fall short. They're like, man, you've been knocking on that door. You constantly get there, and it's like, fuck, this is like you deserve to win it. But and that's why I think they deserve to win it more. And then I look at
because he has less time too. So
now and for the Bucks, they have more time. So that's not my argument for them. For they deserve it more. It's because they've been there consistently, or that close.
But also, you could look at it from the fact there's no guarantee the Bucks will ever get back here again. So you need to take advantage of that opportunity.
And now for the counter argument of why the Bucks or the Suns should win it, maybe not deserve it, but should win it, is because my main reason for wanting the Suns to win is Chris Paul, and Chris Paul's window is closing. And he's always been so close as an individual player, not so much as a team, because now he's on a different team, right? So we can't count team, but...
No, I know what you mean.
Fuck, man.
It's really a tough decision, especially if Giannis comes back and he plays, and if he's somehow able to play the full series to make it a true series.
I'll say this. Whoever of them wins, I will not be sad.
I agree with that.
I'll feel happy for either team.
I just want to end on this note before we give our predictions. Chris Middleton, in the closeout game, he scored 23 points in the third quarter. It was his third 20-plus point quarter of his playoff career. So people say he's not clutch, but he low-key has very clutch performances, especially in situations where his team needs it.
He is their most underrated player.
Without a doubt. And then to go off of that, everybody says Mike Budenholzer isn't a great coach. Just want to point out, this is his 9th straight playoff win when it comes to clinching opportunities. Meaning when you're in a situation to clinch the series, this is his 9th straight game to win that game, which helped clinch the series. Tied for the second longest streak by a head coach in NBA history. The only other person with more is Phil Jackson, who many people consider the GOAT, who had 12. So once again, the Bucks as an overall team, both coaching and players get this reputation of not being clutch. Yet, I know stats can be manipulated, but at least this postseason, they have been coming through when they've needed it the most. In the past 2 series, they've really needed it. When you think about it, 7 games against Brooklyn, they could have easily folded. They didn't. And then this series, when Giannis went out, they could have easily folded. They didn't. So I'm just trying to give respect where respect is due when the opportunity arises.
Yeah. No, And I think in the final comments I'll make is for the first time in many finals, I don't have a team who I don't want to win. Like, I'm honestly 100% happy for either team.
I agree.
And I root for both of them for different reasons.
I agree.
There are definitely years where I'm just like, I may not have a stake in either, but like, I'd rather this team. This year, I have my slight preference, but like, both are cool.
So who you picking?
I have the Bucks.
I have the
If
Bucks.
Giannis is healthy, I have the Bucks.
I have the Bucks in 7.
I have the Bucks in 7.
Either way, I have the series going 7.
I hope it goes to 7 either way.
I do too.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, so thank you guys, Rhinos and Aliens, Crash and Swarm, for joining us for the 49th episode of Rhinos and Aliens After Dark. My name is Francis. In front of me, to my right, your left, if you're watching this, we have Sebastian with the big booty ass. Okay, so we're going to do a quick 5-finger Rhino thrust.
Bam.
We first want you to like the video. Then we want you to subscribe.
Fuck yeah.
Hit the bell, which is right next to subscribe if you're still watching this video.
Why wouldn't they?
Then we want you to share to any and everyone. And as Sebastian likes to say, yes, that includes the animal kingdom. And then fifth, comment on everything we talked about, like your 4th of July, what makes you feel alive, wildfires, being appreciative, and the NBA Finals. So with that, LLPH and cut.
Doodle! And let me know if mosquitoes' lives are real lives.
Just a friendly reminder, guys. Hit the subscribe button in this corner. And then for the newest video. Then for the most recommended. And then for our famous dick pic.